It is my pleasure to welcome my friend S. Kannan. We have been colleagues before, and we will be talking about the National Sports Award. There is no official list yet, but we will discuss the procedures, the process, and the outcomes that seem to have emerged from that. Welcome to the show, Kannan. It's a pleasure to have
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.
Let's start by discussing the highest award, which is the Khel Ratna, the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna. It seems that the ministry selection committee that the ministry chose has recommended 5 names. To the best of my knowledge, uh, only one award can be given away every year, and exceptions can be made only in an Olympic year or an Asian Games year. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Minister Kiran Rijiju does with this recommendation of 5 names. What are your own initial thoughts on the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna choices?
Actually, it is very surprising. 5 names I thought would make a short list. 5 names would not or should not be in the final list, which has been signed by all the members of the committee and handed over to the sports ministry. Mine goes back to sometime early 2001-2, when even for giving the joint winners, for Anjali with Parak Bhavatan, if I'm not mistaken, KM Dinamol. There was a huge debate. Why two people? Why not just zero in on one? After that, we've seen a few instances, the last also being in 2016, which was again because of the Rio Olympics, exceptions were made. But again, 1 to 2 and 2 to 5 is such a huge increase that there is no justification given the fact that the year gone by, we did not have Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, or the Olympics. So I think this 5 is a dilution of the highest national sports award, and it should not be more than 2. But the rest, up to the minister, how Kiran Rijiju wants to deal with it.
It may not be the best of things for him to whittle down this list. It's going to be difficult because very clearly some of these are very popular choices. You take someone like a Manika Batra, for example, table tennis champion who did well in the Commonwealth Games and then in the Asian Games team event, 2018, not much to show thereafter. I would reckon that the minister will think several times before he whittles down this list to 5 and brings it down to 2 or even 3. Ideally, I would have liked a Neeraj Chopra, world junior champion with a world record not very long ago. Then he's got the Commonwealth Games, which is one of the most difficult things to do to get a gold in Commonwealth Games, athletics gold in Commonwealth Games. And then he backed it up with an Asian Games gold medal as well. Now, what more do you expect from this boy? I think the panels of 2018 and 2019 will regret not giving the award to Neeraj Chopra back then, because I fear that next year the same arguments will be put forth and Neeraj may miss out on being a Khel Ratna unless he does something spectacular at the Olympic Games next year.
I think your point is very valid. It is indeed very surprising that Neeraj Chopra has been overlooked. I did make a few inquiries. Of course, nobody is allowed to talk on record. The impression was that initially his name was discussed, but there was really nobody pushing for his case, which is very sad. Award should be decided on merit. Award should be decided on the basis of the point system which has been created, so that there is no heartburn, so that there is nobody who is left out unduly. But this time, I think Neeraj Chopra has been unlucky. And if I'm not exaggerating, there was no godfather within the committee for him to back him. And it's very sad. We don't know whether the Tokyo Olympics are on or not on, what is going to be the status of COVID-19, who goes, who does not go. And we really do not know, because Indian athletes are slightly far behind in terms of preparation after the long break. Other countries have rebooted and returned fast, but Indian athletes are still way behind. Though, why should Neeraj wait till 2020? He's done enough in 2018, a fantastic year. He was out with an injury and he's come back. He's throwing strongly. And I think he's a very deserving candidate. As regards candidature of the other 4 or other 5, we cannot decide who should be left out, but he certainly deserves a place in the highest national sports award.
Right. We'll then move on to the Arjuna Awards. As many as 29 of them, Kanan. The rule says 15, and exceptions can be made in the year of the Olympics or in the year of the Asian Games and Commonwealth Games, which is once in 2 years an exception can be made. And I remember that in 2018, India had a good time at the Asian Games. There were only 20 awards given away. This time it has gone up to 29. What are your thoughts on the number of athletes who have been recognized? It's great. It seems great that athletes are being recognized. More the merrier. But are we not watering down the value of the award? Are we not telling athletes who have won the award before that this is not of great value anymore?
I think we need to go back a few decades and see what the value of these awards was. I think if someone picks up the phone and wants to speak to Milkha Singh, he will talk about what humiliation he underwent. And if you want to talk about, sorry, I'm digressing, but to the Rajiv Khel Ratna, people like Rahul Dravid, former India captain, people like Mahesh Bhupati, multiple Grand Slam champion, they never got the Rajiv Khel Ratna. Arjuna Award, there's been a big fight. Imagine you have 29 in this list, and in that 29, there is an Ishant Sharma who's been an outstanding performer for so many years. So I would not want to look at Ishant as just one among the 29. I would like him to be one among the 18 or 19 or 20. Out of these 29, you have two who are Khel Ratna winners. They have won the highest award. So why would you want to apply for this award and get this award? Sakshi Malik and Mirabai Chanu, you're already huge champions. I'm sure you don't need this additional financial reward or the additional railway pass, etc. You guys are doing very well in life. You're being supported by NGOs, the sports ministry. They would set an outstanding example probably by saying, please leave us out. They can write to the ministry. Thank you, you nominated us, but we don't want to be part of it. If they do that, I think they'll become bigger champions. But yes, the number should be 18 or 19 in a non-Olympic year, non-Asian Games year. By adding so many numbers, we are diluting the award. By adding so many numbers, we are making it appear as if mediocrity is being rewarded. That should not be the case.
Let's take Shiva Keshavan, for example. I think he did benefit from the fact that the minister allowed an open invitation system, an application system where an athlete could apply himself. A short while ago, I was on a conversation with him, and he pointed out that he applied at the behest of some of his friends. His federation is never going to recommend him for the Arjuna Award. He's been around for the longest possible time, has been to several Olympic Games. But he's done well at the Asian level and deserved the Arjuna Award for having won at the Asian level a few medals. I think the system of applying an individual athlete, applying himself or herself, is going to open a Pandora's box. While Shiva Keshavan has benefited from that, you might have a situation where everybody is going to apply for the award, and the shortlisting committee will then be left with a challenge to come up with a very good shortlist for the selection committee to look at.
Yes, you're right. What has happened by opening up this process online, which I think was necessitated because of the COVID-19 pandemic, to make it easier so that you don't have to go physically, file forms, get signatures from your coaches or whoever is going to be nominating you. So the numbers were too far high, number one. Secondly, the deadline had been extended for no rhyme or reason. Again, ministry should take the responsibility for why this was done. And thirdly, when you've got so many numbers, the initial screening process, which I believe is done by the Sports Authority of India, should have been more stringent. They should have brought down the numbers so that the elite selection panel, which is there, gets to look at these names, go through their records, their performances more closely. If it is going to be so frivolous, I think these awards are getting diluted, and this should not be allowed at any cost.
Right. We then now move on to the Dronacharya Award. I know we have a lot of things to say. We look at history. I think between the two of us, we have got about 70 years of experience in the field of sport journalism and have seen sport for a longer period. We move on to the Dronacharya. The name of PT Usha did the rounds. perhaps India's greatest female athlete, woman athlete, someone who did really well at the Asian level. Um, is now a coach, runs her own academy, has produced Tintu Luka and Jisna Matthew, two names that come up with. Would you have expected her to breeze through the Dronacharya and eventually be left out? Are you surprised, shocked? What are your thoughts on that?
I am surprised and I'm also shocked because there's nobody like PT Usha, fourth place, 1984, Los Angeles Olympics. She's been the queen in Asian track and field. She's running an academy. And as someone, I have shared the dais with her during the 2017 awards committee, and I've seen while she was pressing for athletics and she was pressing for athletes, but she was not being unfair. So for someone like her who's doing so much, giving back to the sport, I mean, apart from her coaching, we know that initial phase of the COVID outbreak in Kerala, she was doing a lot of groundwork. I wouldn't call it social work, it was serious work she had taken up as a responsible citizen. Her academy is there. One shouldn't quantify by just two champions, whether it is Tintu or Jisna. She's working. How many Olympians are giving back to the sport? How many multiple medalists are giving back to the sport? Anusha, at her age, her superiority, for her to be overlooked, and I think someone like PT Usha does not deserve some humiliation. And if anyone is responsible for it, the committee members should own up why they overlooked her. She's a classic case of someone who should have been rewarded so that more such athletes will come forward and take up the cause of Indian sport and produce champions.
Right. We'll continue with the Dronacharya Award. I read the name of Gaurav Khanna from para badminton. Apparently, there are not too many credentials. While he might be national coach and perhaps runs the para badminton unit with an iron fist, he's got the Dronacharya. There is opposition to that, and I read on social media plenty of complaints that he should perhaps have been overlooked. But do you think that the presence of the Paralympic Committee of India's president there, Deepa Malik, made a big difference? The number of athletes para athletes who have got the Arjuna Award and then the Dronacharya Award for Gaurav Khanna. Do you think the ministry made a mistake somewhere in appointing a president of a national sports federation to be a part of this committee?
Deepa Malik is an outstanding athlete. I salute her credentials despite all the problems. But yes, firstly, there is a conflict of interest when you are heading a national sports federation. Of course, it's not recognized by the ministry as yet. And she obviously will push for her athletes. There is a fair sprinkling of para athletes, and that is good. But there is also a debate now whether Gaurav Khanna should actually be deserving, whether he's done so much. And now I'm tempted to compare his contribution with PT Usha. Does he really deserve it? Deepa Malik probably should have recused herself from this committee. By putting her in this committee, now a lot of the award winners or those nominated, they're coming under a cloud. And so many para award winners has never been the case. In fact, Deepa herself knows it because she had cribbed in the past about not having been nominated for the Rajiv Khel Ratna. I think there should be a category created for the para, like we have for mountaineering, for a certain other sport. Combining them with the regular able-bodied athletes is probably getting difficult. So if we have a separate category for coaching, for the athletes who perform at the Asian Games level and the Paralympics, it will be better. A very wrong example has been set, and I don't know how this can be corrected because the sports ministry nowadays, the chairman of the committee is a retired judge. So when you get the signatures from all the committee members and a retired judge puts his signature on top, it leaves very little legal scope. But I'm sure a few people will approach courts, and you know, and the hearings are now on virtually. Nobody's going to the court. It's on in full bloom. And today is 20th of August, and 9 days away again, virtual award ceremony. I'm sure there will be a lot of noise created, and rightly so.
Kanan, I will leave the Dhyan Chand awardees. There's been a posthumous award as well on Dhyan Chand to swimmer Sachin Nag from
Yes.
the 50s. While it is laudable, I think the ministry is now opening itself up to having to give away a lot of awards to people who did not get them from 1947 to 1961 when the awards were instituted. I think they're opening themselves up to a lot of scope for athletes who missed out in the past from getting the Arjuna Award. I would like to focus a little bit on the point system. You have served on the committee. I have served 1 year on the committee. And I believe that there is a fundamental flaw. Obviously, the point system came into being because the Delhi High Court insisted on a transparent and a fair system. And the sports ministry came up with a point system that allocates marks for the Olympic Games and the World Championship, the Asian Games and the Asian Championship, the Commonwealth Games and the Commonwealth Championships. Now, in some events, for example, in weightlifting, wrestling, boxing, table tennis, maybe even badminton, it's easier for you to win a Commonwealth Games medal than an Asian Games medal. Now, are you going to equate a weightlifting in Commonwealth Games with an athletics in the Commonwealth Games? I really think that there needs to be a serious thought on how the point system is structured, and somebody has to sit on it and work on it. Every year around this time, we have a discussion on how this point system seems to be flawed and how it throws up a lot of possibilities for athletes to win the Arjuna Award or not win the Arjuna Award because they don't have enough points. What are your own thoughts, Kannan?
I think last 3 years there's been a debate on how the points system needs to be revised, revisited, and improved upon. For example, if you go by that yardstick, take the example of cricket. Last year we had Virat Kohli winning the Khel Ratna. This year, popular choice, we have Rohit Sharma. So there are no points for cricket. But obviously, when you're putting a heavyweight cricketer in the committee, that too like Virender Sehwag, there's no way he's going to say no to Rohit Sharma. So when you have at one end of the spectrum a sport like cricket where there's no ranking point, you have the World T20, you have the ICC World Cup. Now there's not even a Champions Trophy. We're talking about test rankings and so on. So I think more power should be given to the committee members, make them more accountable. Let them just not go like, ponder over a points table. Like, let's go back to the example of one of the awardees this time, Dronacharya, Jaspal Rana. Jaspal Rana, I feel very deserving Dronacharya award. The same Jaspal Rana last year was rejected and he had to go to court because they found that when they counted the number of medals of his trainees, including Manu and Saurabh, he had not been the coach. So how come between last year and this year, when barring the ISSF World Cup, there have not been too many competitions, suddenly he's become eligible. So that itself is exposing a flaw in the point system. Point system has to be revised. There should be an expert panel, and hopefully by at least 2021, something is done to better it, get people who can work on it very consciously, and we hope that this mistake does not recur. Point system has been imperfect. It needs to be changed.
There is no doubt about that, Kannan. Obviously, the point system needs a complete overhaul. There has also been a suggestion that the para-athletes have a separate awards category for them. I think the fact that we've got 29 awards in Arjuna this time is due to the fact that a number of para-athletes have been given the Arjuna Award as well. So do you think there is merit in that argument that because they have their own games, they have their own Paralympic or the Para-Asian Games, do you think that there should be a separate stream of awards for the para-athletes in the country?
I see no harm. It is not like a discrimination. I think if you have a clear demarcation between the 18 or 19 awards in the normal category and in the para category, if you can add 4 or 5 or even 6, there is no harm. I would recommend that only for the Arjuna Award. I think still for the Khel Ratna, it's okay if you go to 2 athletes maximum, or in an Olympic year 3. Don't create a separate Khel Ratna for the Para Award. Then it will appear that as if there's some kind of discrimination. So Arjuna Award certainly creating one category in the Para is perfectly fine. Like you created Dhyan Chand, you've created Dronacharya, you got Lifetime Award. You're even giving awards to certain corporations, bodies which are promoting sport, which is good. So nobody is going to mind if we create the Para Award. It's going to be at par with the Arjuna Award. They're going to be treated as the same level performance champion. They're going to get the same award. They're going to get the same scroll, trophy, and the cash component. So I think if you do that, it will become easier so that at least there is no such number which is mind-boggling of 29.
Right,
That
Kannan,
is what I.
we can only hope that there is enough political will. A lot of this stems from the fact that there is not adequate political will to stick to the number 15, which has been written down in the Arjuna Awards, for example, or one in Khel Ratna, for example. Now, if you're not sticking to the number, it clearly indicates it's not the committee, but it is a political pressure that comes in on the committee. Now, I only hope that there is strong political will that will restore the glory of the National Sports Award, that will restore the pride that people feel when they get the national award. Instead of watering it down, instead of devaluing the award, I only hope that the political system will ensure that the award get the rightful place.
Certainly, they need to work on this very hard while praising this government for the kind of help they've been rendering to athletes, to coaches, the sports system, and also to those who are really not part of the Olympic sporting discipline. For example, today's letter from Prime Minister Narendra Modi to MS Dhoni. I think it's a beautiful letter and also evoked an equally emotional response from Dhoni. So I think when you're doing so much for sport, I mean, India is a country which is spending a lot of money on its athletes, training, foreign coaches, diet, you name it, everything they're getting. Khelo India Games, which is their pet project. So I think when you're doing so much, if you can stick to these guidelines, 15 awards, 15 is the most elite if you stick to that. And like it's like Oscars, you have only X number of Oscars. You're not going to increase the Oscars needlessly. So if you bring down these numbers, give it a good thought, the regard, the value will remain intact. Not like this year. This year it looks like it's a wholesale bargain.
My heart reaches out to Neeraj Chopra and to PT Usha. I can only hope that the minister recognizes that the committee has overlooked some wonderful names and add them both to the Khel Ratna and to the Dronacharya Award and makes this error correction. He is empowered to do that, and hopefully he will be able to make this error correction before long. Thank you very much, Kannan. It has been a pleasure having you on this for the first time. Looking forward to doing many more with you.
I hope it is not the last time. I look forward to more such meetings. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.